Blog Talk Radio.
And good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever and whenever you may be listening to us from across the globe. Welcome to another episode of The Doctors Are In here on the Psychic Talk Radio Network. Another fabulous Friday here, Friday, February 19th, 2021. We'll look at that numerology momentarily. But now I need to bring on my co-host. First of all, this is Dax Carlisle. I am the host here on Fridays and Saturdays, along with my co-hosts, and I'm a tarot advisor, numerologist, life coach, and hypnotherapist, coming to you live from Tucson, Arizona. My regular co-host, Dr. Rose Wilkerson, has an appointment during airtime today, so saving the day, and joining me live from New York City is Tarot Master and Angel Reiki Master, Dr. Sharonah Rapseik. Let's bring on Sharonah. Hey, Sharonah, how you doing?
Hello, Dax. Hello, everybody.
Well, thanks for, filling in for Dr. Rose last minute,
Oh, I love filling in. It's great to talk to you and all the lovely listeners out there. So I am so happy to be here.
Yeah, I like it too because I like to be on with different hosts, and I'm with Mary on Saturdays with Tarot Today Radio, and then Dr. Rose on Fridays. It's nice, every once in a while to be on with a different host. We had in December, Dr. Rose was finishing up her classes at Berkeley. She had to do all the she's the instructor, of course. She's the professor, so she has to do all the paperwork and everything, and grading papers and, term papers, all that kind of stuff. So Charlotte Kornberg filled in for her, and boy, that was just fun, And we decided to have Charlotte on. Actually, she's going to be our guest on the radio show next Friday when Dr. Rose comes back, So it'd be another fun opportunity to have somebody on, a different voice there, and it's really quiet today, so, we have a few things we can chat about, but it is open lines all show long, tarot mini readings, life coaching, and let me give out that phone number, Sharonah, 714-816-4628. You can also join us on the chat post at psychictalk.net/chat. That's psychictalk.net/chat. And what that URL will do, it'll take you right to the chat post on our Facebook group for Psychic Talk Radio. Of course, you can just go on the Psychic Talk Radio group and find it, but this is the faster way. We have a different chat post for each show, you see. And then, the comments that you can make on a chat, the comments you can make on a post on Facebook, we use that as a chat room. And you can, chat with us about the topics we're talking about or ask questions. Maybe you have a burning question about tarot or Reiki, energy healing, hypnosis, angels. Pretty much between Sharonah and I, we have everything covered. And you can also ask for a mini reading or some life coaching or both right there from the chat at psychictalk.net/chat. In fact, I got to check right now, Sharonah. I'm trying to remember if I'm even in the chat myself. I better pop in there. I'm popping in there now, see if anybody's in there. I know Charlotte in there quite a bit. Actually, you're in there quite a bit, Sharonah.
Yeah, that's so fun. You meet a lot of fun people in our chat room.
Mm-hmm. So the phone lines are wide open. Give us a call, 714-816-4628. As soon as you get through, press 1 on your dial pad. What that does is lets us know that you want to be live on air with Sharonah and I. Otherwise, you can just listen to the show. You can call in. Don't press 1. Just dial the number, 714-816-4628. Carry us around in your pocket with your earbuds. But if you'd like to chat with us, make sure you press 1 on your dial pad. Now, if you're Skyping in, if you're using your Skype, you have to open the Skype app, and then you have to open the dial pad and press 1. Okay. But anyway, press 1 and, come join us. We would love to chat with you. Let's see. I've got the card of the day, the numerology of the day. Today's an 8-day abundance, Sharonah. And the day,
awesome.
It's the 19th. 1 plus 9 is 10. 1 plus 0 is 1. So it's all about self.
Well, the moon's in Taurus.
Oh, okay. Tell me a little bit about that.
Well, that's all about money and practicality and abundance. So it all fits, it's amazing how everything fits together. Yes,
it's just in alignment. So is the tarot card. I love it. I do the tarot card of the day, the numerology of the day, and my throat's getting a little scratchy, so I'm going to take a swig of water here. And what I got was the 9 of Swords, which is a card of, worry, nightmares, being woken up at night. Actually, that's what's depicted in the card. And she's got these 9 swords, him or her, these 9 swords above her head or off to the left of her, maybe it is, or on the wall. It's hard to tell what's actually going on there. She's got her hands, her head in her hands, and sitting up in bed, and swords are thoughts and ideas. So she's got all these thoughts and ideas, and that, leads to worry. Other things about that card, it's a card of self-sacrifice sometimes and loss, suffering, desolation. Oh, dreams, fears, insomnia. Now, when I saw that card, Sharonah, right away, and I was looking at the numerology, abundance 8 and self 1. It's a good day to work on yourself today. What I got right away from that card was that, here we are still relatively in the beginning of the year, and, people are working on their goals for the year and trying to manifest things. And this card is telling us, take a look at where your focus is right now, especially if you're not seeing progress. Yeah. What, are you focused on the fears, the lack? Do you have the lack mentality going on? That's all those swords, those thoughts and ideas. And that blocks us to manifesting because your attention is in the wrong place instead of being on what you want to manifest. What do you think about that?
Yeah. Well, what you focus on is what you bring into your future. And one thing that I have been trying to do is, we had all that weird energy of 2020, but we can't focus on that. We are going into a new year. So we want to cut all the cords that, I right away tell people you want to bring in, I work with angels, you want to bring in Archangel Michael. And you need to cut all the cords that tied you to 2020 and all that energy. We don't need it. We don't need that. And we don't need that worry. So you want to leave all those regrets and negative stuff in the past.
Right. And I do see we have a caller calling in, so we're going to go right to the caller. But there you go. Some great advice from Sharonah, what I'm seeing in the card of the day and the numerology of the day. And I hope that helps a lot of people out. Today, especially being a one day, it's perfect to work on that. Take some, doesn't have to be long, maybe like 5 or 10 minutes. Take some quiet time and
exactly
reevaluate your goals, and focus on shifting your focus back to manifesting them versus, your current situation or lack or anything along those lines. And Sharonah, I don't know if do you do a card of the day?
I can do a card of the day, But
well, don't worry about
you're
that
not
right
gonna
now.
believe
We want to go to the
I
phone.
got the same one that
We
you
wanna
got.
go- Oh, you did? Did you pull one?
Yeah.
9 of Swords.
Yeah, I
Oh
did.
my God! I love those synchronicities. That happens for those that are new to the show. We've been doing this for 10 years. All different hosts, all different tarot masters, and almost always on shows where we have two people pulling cards, we get a lot of the same cards. It's kind of like the universe winking at us, that, hey, yeah, this stuff actually works. Because what are the chances of us getting the same card, shuffling a deck of 78 cards? It's like, I don't know, several 100,000 to 1 or something chance or something like that. Some mathematician's going to have to type that in the chat and let us know at psychictalk.net/chat. So our first caller calling in is from area code 360. Let's bring them on here. Caller, what's your name and where are you calling from?
Hi, my name's Lori, and I'm calling from Bellingham, Washington. Hi.
Oh, Bellingham. I've been there. Have a friend that lives up there, actually. So what's going on with you, Lori? What do you want to chat about today?
I'm having a 9 of Swords kind of day.
Oh, wow. I can hear it in your voice. Sharonah, you notice the energy? You can just feel it with Lori?
I can feel it.
So tell us how we can help, hon.
Well, I'm wondering if I'm ever going to tolerate this woman that lives below me, and she has a really big mouth, and every morning she's really loud, and every evening she's really loud for me, And
is
really
this someone that lives in your building or something? Or, who is this person?
Yeah,
where are they?
They live in the
you said
building.
below you, so.
I called in one of your other shows previous to moving. I didn't know whether I was going to have a place to live or not. And the woman you had on said there'll be a solution, So I did end up homeless, but I'm living in a building that, is really low income, and I'm feeling really low income. I'm feeling really impoverished. And I had to give up my companion animals, which is really hurting me emotionally.
Oh, yeah, that really hurts when you have to do that. Sharonah, it sounds like Lori's in need of some Angel Reiki for sure.
Yeah, I'm gonna right away. I'm gonna send some Angel Reiki. We're gonna send Michael with his blue light for protection. You need protection, and then I'm also gonna send to your solar plexus the golden and pink light of Archangel Jophiel. And she's going to make you feel strong and self-confident and help you get through all of this.
Thank you.
Oh, awesome. Yes. You'll notice that soon, Lori. It's interesting. I shuffled the cards, Sharonah, and I pulled some cards for Lori, and that 9 of Swords popped up. That 9 of Swords, there you go again, another synchronicity, Sharonah. The universe is winking at us and at the same time giving us a hint that everything we just talked about the card of the day and the numerology of the day, it's not an accident that Lori called in. And getting the card in her spread here, Sharonah, it tells me that she's drawing a lot of this in herself because of her focus on the lack and the thoughts going and being kept up at night, and then the woman screaming below you and all this stuff. And I'm getting like the 9 of Pentacles, which is the self-made woman, right next to the 3 of Cups, which is a celebration with friends. And with this Swords card, what I'm getting from that is that it's a twofold thing. The 9 of Pentacles is hinting with the 9 of Swords that, first of all, 9 is the end of a cycle. Things are going to shake free. In fact, right after this call, Sharonah, remind me, we're going to talk a little bit. You said you were going to mention about Mercury retrograde ending. And I think that's part of the shift that's going to be happening for Lori here. And the other thing that's going on with that 9 of Pentacles being alongside with the 9 of Swords is that, I'm not trying to place blame. What I'm saying is the cards are telling me that your focus is on the lack, it's on the bad thoughts, it's on the crazy woman and your living situation, and you've got to get yourself out of that. And the way you do that is what we were just talking about before we took your call when we were doing the card of the day, where you really got to write down and figure out exactly how you want things to be and really shift your focus. Simultaneously, like I said, right next to that 9 of Pentacles is that 3 of Cups. Okay, so there is help out there. And what it's going to be is a combination of things. You have to extricate yourself. You have to do it yourself. You've got to make this shift. But at the same time, there's help out there. First of all, it's you. It's the 3 of Cups, and there's these 3 people dancing with their cups, presumably filled to the brim with wine, hopefully. Anyway, it's the 3 of us. It's me and Sharonah and you. So first of all, you're getting help now. But there's other people in your local area that's going to be able to help you with this. That's what I'm getting. And then if you can do that shift, then what happens? Are you ready, Sharonah? I get the 10 of Cups.
That's nice.
Yeah,
That's nice.
Sharonah, did you pull a card or a tarot card or an angel card for Lori yourself?
I pulled 3 tarot cards, and all of them have to do with pentacles, which is getting your physical life in order, finances, and all of those things. And what I'm getting as far as the answer for you, Lori, is Page of Pentacles, and that's about what you need to do is see if there are. I mean, I see you need to take maybe classes, scholarship opportunities, and not just for career, but financial planning, how to, when you get out of the situation, how to manage your money.
Oh, so before you go on, let me just butt in for a second, because one card I haven't talked about yet that also popped up that I was going to get back to after you were finished, but you just said what I was going to say, the Page of Wands. It's talking about exactly what you just said, Sharonah, about you got to do some research. You got to do some study. You got to figure out. I am always finding things. Like just yesterday, I found a program that I didn't know that the VA had to help my elderly parents out with, financially and, with home health care and stuff like that I didn't even know existed. There are programs, there's housing, there's help, there's job help. There is so many things out there, and you got to do the research. I'm sorry, Sharonah. Go ahead with the rest of your cards that you got there, but wow, what a synchronicity.
Yeah, that's going to be the key to getting out of the situation, is talking to people and see if there's like classes that you can get a scholarship to or attend for free. And if you can't find that, if you can go online. But, not only for career, one of the most important classes that we need to take is how to manage our money, because we're not taught that in school. So, once you start working, you're going to be juggling money and how you can juggle it in the best way. But I'm pulling for you, besides the Page of Pentacles, I'm getting the Queen of Pentacles, which is that you can get out of this. You can get grounded. It's important that you stay grounded, and you can get through this. But scholarship and classes, that's going to be your key as far as for solving your situation.
Yeah. Okay.
I hope that helps you out a little bit, hon, and, feel free to call back on any of our shows, and if you need us to draw cards on something else, that you need guidance on.
Well, I wonder about my, how my cats are doing, like,
Yeah, I wish we had a pet psychic. I don't know. Do you do that? Sharonah?
Well, we can pull a card. What is the name of your pet? Your pets, or your pet, or your pets?
Kiki
That's a great
and
idea.
Ming Ming. Kiki and Ming Ming.
Okay, I'm pulling the World card, so I think they're in a new situation where they're going to be fine, and that you really you shouldn't worry about them. They're being taken care of, and they're going to be fine. And now you got to focus on yourself.
Okay.
That's right. That's right. But don't forget. I'm getting this gentle energy coming through from them. I pulled a card too, Sharonah. I got the Page of Cups, and in the traditional Wade Smith version, the page he's holding this cup, and popping out of this cup is unexpectedly a fish head. A fish is popping out of the top of the cup. Pages are often about messages, and I feel, because this card specifically, because cups is emotions and intuition, sensitivity, spiritual growth, things along those lines, that you should really listen to your gut instincts, get in touch with your intuition and your own psychic abilities. And if you I think what the card is saying, if you pay attention, they're there. And they're leaving messages. Maybe you haven't picked up on it yet because of your life situation. You are focused on that, and you might not be picking up these messages that are actually coming through. And so, so that's the message I'm getting for you, is to, just be aware and get in touch with your intuition and look around. You're going to start seeing some things popping up.
Yeah.
I think it's interesting too that they're kitties, and what does he get? A fish. So I think they're being provided for, and
right.
they're in a good place. They're probably in a good place now, and you just got to get yourself in a good place.
Right. Yeah,
absolutely. Well, thanks for the call, Lori. We're going to move on. We have another caller just popped in there. And give us a ring back. Tell us how things are going.
Okay.
All
and
right.
We're sending you love, Laurie.
And the Angel Reiki.
Sharonah's
she's doing the Angel Reiki too. Yeah, we got to talk about that. I want to talk a little bit about your Angel Reiki, because you're like one of the only people on the planet I've ever seen combining these things. And I have an idea on that, too, that popped in my head from the universe. It's actually an old idea I've had since the beginning of the Tarot Guild, like 17 years ago. But I think it's 18 years ago now. Oh, my God. Time is just flying by. But before we talk about that, let's see if we could take some more callers. Hey, this is a great time to call in, folks. If you're listening live and you're sitting on the fence, should I call in? Yes, you should, because we're going to get right to you. It's open lines all show long. Whatever we're chatting about, we'll put that on hold and we'll bring you right onto the show. Give us a ring at 714-816-4628. As soon as you get through, press 1 on your dial pad so we know you want to be live on air with Sharonah and I. One more time, 714-816-4628. Now is the time to pop in there. Wait. Sharonah?
Yeah?
Oh, we lost the caller. I was just about to bring their mic live, and their call dropped. Caller, if the switchboard hung up on you, just call right back in. We'll put you right on the air. Wow, that is just strange. It's that
that could be Mercury retrograde.
Let's talk about that.
Yeah, but here's
anyway.
the good news. Yeah, there's some good news on Mercury retrograde, though. and that is we have three Mercury retrogrades this year, and this is the first one, but this first one is going to be ending tomorrow. So I know for one, I'm going to be looking into getting a new computer. I didn't want to get a new computer during Mercury retrograde. So,
exactly. Yay! It's ending. Little applause there. Oh, shoot! It did it again. It did it again. I accidentally bumped the button again. Oh my God, I'm so excited because, someone being a technical person and being a radio person, and it's all technology. Yeah, Mercury retrograde over the last, 11 years that we've been broadcasting wow. Yeah. So you're holding off on buying your computer.
Right. I don't want to buy a new computer because I don't want to transfer, the information into the new computer right now, because that could go terribly wrong. So next week I'll be getting a new computer.
Well, congratulations on that too.
Yeah.
Very awesome. I'm glad it's finally ending. And Mercury retrograde, it reminds me of the 5 energy in numerology, because it's an adventurous, high energy number, but the other side of the coin is that you can spiral down into chaos. We call it the chaos number in numerology, and we talk about it a lot on these shows. And it's akin to the Mercury retrograde because you can also tap into the high energy of the Mercury retrograde. I know some people that actually like Mercury retrograde, Sharonah, because that's when they get the most work done, But it's not just electronics and technology, right? It's communication, and what other things does it affect?
Well, they tell you that you shouldn't get married or sign a contract if possible. You don't want to not do anything, but if you can possibly not do it during Mercury retrograde, it's for the best. So you don't want to sign any contracts. It affects communications, electronics, traveling. It actually affects the weather too. So look at what's happening with the
look at the weather. Yeah. Oh, and
and the power grid and everything.
Yeah, it's like it's the look at Texas with the weather, and it's the power grid and everything. That's a great example, an extreme example, but Wow. So, it's getting towards the bottom of the hour, so I thought I would do the upcoming shows, and then I wanted to talk a little bit about the Angel Reiki and and surrogate Reiki, surrogate tapping, EFT. I have this idea. I'm just going to throw it out there, see what happens. And also, in addition to Charlotte being our guest next week, you're going to be our guest in a couple of weeks, right?
I'm looking forward to it.
Can't wait. Oh, wow. We're going to be talking about past life regression. I love anything hypnosis. I love to talk about, and Sharonah's certified in it, so it's going to be a fascinating conversation there. Okay, let's look at the upcoming shows on the network. I actually have the shows, let's see, on the upcoming shows page, I have it filled out through the middle of March, Sunday, March 14th, which is actually Tarot Magic on your show, Sharonah, with your guest, Emily. But winding it back here to February here. And by the way, you can, anytime you want to see what's coming up on the network, just go to our website, psychictalk.net. And the upcoming shows page, there's a button on the main page to click, or you can just open a new tab in your browser, type in psychictalk.net/upcoming. That's psychictalk.net/upcoming. And you can see all the upcoming shows, the titles of the shows, and those are linked. So if you hover your cursor over it, you'll notice that they're linked. You can click on it and go to the show page, read more about it, get all the times, and the call-in number never changes, but we have a show page on Blog Talk for each show. That's where you can listen and so forth like that. So tomorrow is Saturday, February 20th, and I'm doing my show with Mary Brown, our show Tarot Today Radio. And, of course, as always, we're doing open lines and free tarot mini readings. But we've got a special guest tomorrow, Sharonah, certified tarot reader John Allen. Now, John Allen, talk about a flash from the past. He is an expert in historical decks and Lenormand in addition to tarot. And he joined the Tarot Guild way back when we first launched our first website, like 2010. It was right around 2010, 2011 when he joined. And, we ended up getting rid of the first Ming website at the Tarot Guild. And what we did was we built a static website, which we had for like the last 9 or 10 years. The server finally gave up the ghost, and then we created another Ning website. For those that aren't familiar, Ning is a platform similar to Facebook where anybody can start a social networking website with all the fabulous features. And so we started a brand new website, thetarotguild.com. Go check and actually become an associate member for free, thetarotguild.com. And the Tarot Guild is the sponsor of our radio shows, Friday, Saturday, Sundays, and one of the sponsors. And John found our new website, Sharonah, and he came back on board.
Wow.
And yeah, and he had misplaced his membership certificate and his certified reader certificates and so forth. So I made up all new ones and backdated them to when he got them in 2011 and sent that out to him. And I was like, we got to have you on the show. So he's going to be our guest tomorrow. In fact, I have a call with him later this afternoon to chat about, I don't know exactly what topics we're going to get into, but with John, there's so much we could get into. Of course, we want to catch up with John. What's he been doing? I know he's made a shift to really focusing on doing professional reading full time. And that's something we're the Tarot Guild. So I'm the president of the Tarot Guild. That's what the Guild's for. And so I love talking about that. So that may be one of the topics. So that's tomorrow. So if you're listening in archive, you missed the show today, you couldn't call in tomorrow on Saturday's show. And then on Monday, I think it's February 22nd, it's the Wisdom of the Soul show with your host, Janice Fuchs. She is a licensed psychotherapist in New York, close to Sharonah. And then on Wednesday, February 24th, I should mention, Sharonah, Catherine had unexpected emergency happen. And I actually couldn't get a hold of her. On Thursday, I messaged her, and I finally got a hold of her. She's okay. Everything's okay. But she was not even able to message me. I thought maybe it was Mercury retrograde or the storm, the storms and the weather and everything. She couldn't do her show on Wednesday, but she'll be back on Wednesday, February 24th, with her topic for February, which is living the life that you were meant to live on the Compassionate Light Healing and Guidance Hour. And then I will be back on, as I've mentioned earlier in the show, Friday, February 26th, with our special guest, Charlotte Kornberg. And, of course, we will be doing open lines, life coaching, free tarot mini readings, and my co-host, Dr. Rose Wilkerson, will be back next Friday. But we're excited to have Charlotte on. She's fun to chat with. She does crystals as well as readings, so lots of fun stuff. And then it's Saturday, February 27th, and we're doing our psychic spin. What do you want to know from the universe? And we've changed this up a little bit, Sharonah. You've probably heard some of our psychic spin episodes.
I have.
We usually pick a topic and pull cards on it. This is over and above personal questions and readings and things like that. This is like the big stuff that everybody's thinking about, like the storm in Texas. Someone might want to pull cards on that. Actually, Mary's in Texas. She's in Amarillo, but hasn't lost electricity yet, thank God. What we're doing now with our psychic spin is we're saying, hey, what do you, and I put it in bold, what do you want to know from the universe? So we want you to contact us, me and Mary, and let us know what you want us to pull cards on. So that's coming up. It's all about what you want to know. And yes, you can call in and ask for a mini reading, about, personal things going on in your life. But if you have any big questions, how does the universe work? How does tarot work? What's going on with these storms? What's going on with this? We'll pull cards on it for you. And then Sunday, February 28th is the last show of February on the network, and it is Magic Universe with Sharonah Rapseik here. That's right. She's going to be doing open lines and Angel Reiki and free tarot mini readings, but she's going to be talking about the magic of angel colors. So there you go, folks. That's what's coming up. And by the way, that leads in really nicely to what I wanted to chat about with you, Sharonah, that I thought of you and the angel colors and the chakras and how you do Angel Reiki, because I was doing some of the technical part of when Sharonah was building her certified Angel Reiki practitioner course, and so I was looking at all that, the chakras, and she combines the Reiki with the angels. She's going to explain it to you. I'm bad at explaining it. But the reason why I thought about you, Sharonah, and about the Angel Reiki was Reiki in general. I've read some stuff on that they do surrogate Reiki, and that's when the individual receiving the Reiki, like Lori earlier, is not necessarily present, and something else is used to represent that person. It could be a teddy bear. We do the same thing with EFT, emotional freedom technique. We can do tapping on ourselves or on a surrogate something to represent the client that's long distance. And of course, if we're doing a live session together, we can, both tap along with each other, but there are certain situations where people will tap, And what that got me to thinking about, popped in my head, was a thought from years back when I first got into EFT. And I thought about combining tarot and EFT and doing tarot tapping. Are you ready for this, Sharonah?
I'm ready.
So my thoughts on this, and, there might be a lot of different ways of doing this. I even thought about, putting someone on a Reiki table, like a massage table, and laying the cards down, seeing what cards come up, where blockages are, and tapping on them. And I thought, well, that might work, but it seemed a little, I don't know the word for it, Sharonah, kind of clumsy, So I got this idea. It's like, well, what about if you pulled a tarot card for each of the 7 main chakras and laid them out in a line and associated it as a surrogate for the client? And nowadays, most of our clients are long distance anyway because of the COVID situation. We're not seeing a lot of, in-person clients anyway. And you lay it out in a line. You could lay it, in a vertical line representing the chakras. I prefer the idea of putting it horizontally, and card 1 being the crown chakra, and then going all the way down the chakras. And you pull the cards, you look at the cards, and you can see whether a chakra is open or not, if there's a blockage, by what's coming up in the card for that chakra, and then you can tap on it with EFT, tapping on the card as a surrogate for the person. And you could do the same thing if you're a Reiki practitioner. You could do the Reiki over the cards as a surrogate for the person. I just thought of calling it tarot tapping because I was into emotional freedom techniques, thought field therapy, energy field therapy, whatever you want to call it, tapping on the meridians. So yeah, that's my idea. I had a long time ago, and I've never really done anything with it. What do you think about that?
I think that's really cool. You know what I just did? I I want to, feel healthy and vibrant. So I just grabbed the Sun card, and I'm tapping with it on my solar plexus, and it's working. Like you just kind of pull in the energy of that card, the golden light, tap on your solar plexus, and you draw in all that energy. And the card, it kind of like, I love where, you can do magic with the cards. Like you can create almost like a little altar where you take the Magician card and you put it in the center, and then you line around at the different, the aces, so that you're bringing in the 4 energies. And, also by putting the Magician card in the center, that brings in the spirit. So you're bringing in the main 4 archangels. You're bringing in Michael and Gabrielle and Raphael and Uriel or Ariel, and then just grab the card. Pick a card in the deck. Like you could pick the Sun, the Queen of Pentacles, if you want to bring in money and that energy, or the Nine of Pentacles. So that gives you something to focus on. And then you can I love tapping. It's an amazing thing if you want to shift your energy. But you can just take the tarot card. Right now I'm taking the tarot card, and I am just tapping it on my hand. And, I like that idea.
Oh, and that made what you just said made me remember that I also wanted to mention that something very similar to what you're talking about is that the way I just described the tarot tapping concept using the chakras and pulling out the 7 cards randomized. You don't know what card's going to come up for each chakra to look for blockages and things. But you could do it the other way around. You could shuffle and go through the deck, and you could just go through the deck face up, pull out cards that represent the energy that you want that chakra to have, and lay the 7 cards out face up, cards that you drew on purpose. So you could do it either way or both. You could do it both.
You could do a combination.
As well. Yeah.
Yeah.
You could even lay out the cards. I was just going to say you could lay out the cards and do it randomized and look for the blocks, but then pull out one card, one of the very positive ones. The Sun card's a great example. And then wherever there's blockages, put that card on top of the card that has the block and tap on top of that with the positive energy card. So that's another thing you can do.
Yeah, you can. There's a lot of ways that you could use the cards. In Reiki, we talk a lot about cutting cords. Like if you have a cord to something that's not empowering you or it's negative, you can take a card and just, use it like you're chopping and cutting that cord. So, you could take the Magician card or the Sun card, and if there's some attachment that you want to cut, like you just take the card and just swoop it in front of you and to the side of you, and it works really well. So that's another way that you can use your cards.
Yeah, and that's something I remember recently. God, my mind's blanking here. I want to say, I know what it was. Mary on her once a month, There's a Rock for That show, talks about crystals. So tarot master and author Janet Boyer actually has a book on crystals and tarot. I got the title slipping from my head right now. But when she was on with Mary, the two of them got into this conversation, kind of like what we're doing right now, and really went to town talking about tarot. And one of the big themes that came up was how Janet, doesn't like how there's so much focus on the reading element and divination of tarot, that there's so much more that you can do with the cards. right? So it's kind of like the same thing we're talking about now.
Yeah, really, the great thing about a tarot deck is you're really carrying around in your pocket. You can think of it as a cathedral. You could have an altar. There's just, it's an amazing tool for development as well as, manifesting and changing things in your life. And it's called tarot magic. And basically, magic is about you create, if there's a situation that you don't like, you have the power to change it. As long as you're on this earth, you can change the situation. If nothing else, you can change the way you think about it. And that's a very powerful thing. But to have something so small as a tarot deck that you can just have with you all the time, what an amazing tool.
Oh, it's interesting. That reminds me that we had a host on the network years and years back, and she did a whole show on that. She actually did a class too on for the Tarot Guild on that. And that's what she said. She said, the tarot pack, the only altar you'll actually ever need, and you can carry it in your purse or your pocket.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
Absolutely. We should do more on this, I think, and maybe even do a little workshop or something. Great stuff for the Tarot Guild, for the professional members. And, I should mention that earlier I said, come over, join as an associate member. It's free. You just get to the website, thetarotguild.com, and, at the top of the page, whether you're on your phone or your tablet or your computer, there should be a button that says sign up. And you can sign up actually with your social media, Google, Twitter, Facebook, or you could put in a email address and a password, and it's real fast, and you can join and use all the features of the website and talk to other like-minded people. It's like Facebook, only tarot all the time and none of the negative stuff. But we also have a professional membership, which actually we lowered the cost of. It comes out to angel number, are you ready? 333, creativity and communication. $3.33 a month. Yeah. So it's $39.99 a year to join, and you get a whole bunch of additional benefits. For instance, my tarot and numerology course, if you're new to tarot, you join as a professional member. No, you don't have to be a professional yet. To join, you never have to be a professional reader if you don't want to, but you can join the professional membership because you get these discounts. And one of them is my course. You get my course for half price. And also tarot certifications. We've got 4 levels at the Guild. For non-members, each level is $78, the application fee. But for professional members, it's only $47. You also get your membership certificate and other discounts, and we have a reader's directory. Once you get certified, we'll put you on the reader's directory. We also do interviews of professional readers, either audio or video, or bringing you onto the radio show. We'll put you on our YouTube if you want to do video. We'll put you on Facebook, and we'll have you on Tarot Today Radio as a guest or the Friday show here, The Doctors Are In. So I just thought I'd give a little plug for that. And, I see Charlotte popping on the board here. Maybe she'll talk to us. She hasn't raised her hand yet, but we'll see.
I was going to say, too, that I love your course, by the way. If you, one of the, people, when they want to learn about tarot, a lot of times they think, I've got to memorize the meaning of 78 cards. But Dax has a way where you do it by numbers. So really there's 9 numbers. So by learning what the elements mean, what the 5 elements are, plus learning the meaning for these 9 numbers, which are 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, you can immediately start reading the cards. And, start working. It's a great it's such a marvelous tool. Not many people teach that, and I love that. So, and I love the way that you teach it, Dax.
That's why I call it my tarot and my tarot by the numbers course, because it's tarot and numerology, and I've been teaching it that way since about circa 2004. Like 17 years or some crazy thing. I've been teaching it that way, and the reason why I did that, like you said, no one else was doing it, and when I came to tarot, I had already studied sacred geometry and numerology. Tarot, and I'm looking at the deck, and I'm like, well, wait a minute. The structure of the deck is laid out numerologically with the 5 elements, and which are the Platonic solids from Metatron's cube, from sacred geometry, from the flower of life. I mean, I started seeing all these connections. In fact, Metatron's cube, of course, it's a 3-dimensional construct, but when we draw it out, we draw it, 2-dimensionally on a piece of paper, right? And you use a compass and a straight rule, and you're able to actually draw Metatron's cube. You draw the flower of life first, and then you draw Metatron's cube. And in order to draw the cube, what you're doing is connecting the center of the circles with straight lines. It takes exactly 78 lines to form Metatron's cube. Now, if that doesn't blow your mind, if you're a tarot person and never heard this, I don't know what will, because it's so obvious to me. I picked up the deck and, 78 cards, and I saw the connection right away. But, for people coming to tarot first before numerology, Sharonah, think about it. You look at the deck and you think, why 78 cards? Why not even in that? Why not 80 cards or 65 or 103? Why 78? This is why. Because
there's also 78 paths on the Tree of Life. If you're into the Kabbalah, so that's each card. That you can lay out.
It's not a coincidence, is what I'm saying.
Yeah, no, it's not. It's that's the beauty of the tarot deck. I mean, as I said, it's a cathedral. It's an altar that you can carry in your pocket, but it's also a sacred text. So you can, just take out the cards and, you're always learning something and making connections. So come on over to the Tarot Guild. I think you're going to like it.
It's a healing tool. A healing tool as well, yes. Yeah. I'll throw a couple other ones out at you. There are 56 minor arcana cards. 5 plus 6 is 11, the Master Illuminator number. There are 22 major arcana cards, the Master Builder number. You add those together, 22 and 11, you get 33, the Master Teacher, Master Healer number. I mean, there's too many coincidences for them to be coincidences, Yeah,
well, there's 22 letters of the Hebrew alphabet.
That's
so there's
I thought I'd throw that out there, and
it's all numbers.
I'd love to,
God is a mathematician. A lot of people say
I'd love for
that.
I'd love for everybody to take my course and become a professional member, get the discount. And I know Sharonah told me a couple of days ago I had to get you back in there because you wanted to go back and review the course.
Well, that's the great thing about, the courses that we offer. You don't have to leave your home. They're all online, and you can take them over and over again. And, because this is something that you constantly, each time you see them, you see something different. And I have a course, too, over there, my certified Angel Reiki course. So, these are all, we're not trapped inside with the pandemic. There's just a whole world that you can go in on your computer, and you can do it over and over again. Because once is not enough.
Right.
Once you go down the rabbit hole, once you start studying Reiki and the tarot, you go down the rabbit hole. It's something that will keep you, it'll give you interest for the rest of your life. It really expands your consciousness. And it's all legal and free. Oh,
That's right. And you can connect, so many different ways nowadays with Skype and Zoom. And on this radio show, you can call in. Speaking of that, we've got a caller to wrap the show up. And
awesome.
we'll bring them on right now. Area code 801. Caller, are you there?
Hello, I'm here.
Oh, I know that
God,
voice.
it's Charlotte. I know that voice. Yes, it's Charlotte. Hey, Charlotte.
Hey, Charlotte.
Well, you practically dared me to call in, so what was I supposed to do?
That's right. That's right. And by the way, this is the same Charlotte that's going to be our guest on next Friday's show. So tune in next Friday for a whole show of Charlotte.
Yay!
Hey, how have you been liking the show and the conversation? Sharonah, saved the day filling in for Dr. Rose, and what do you think?
I have to. I just barely tuned in because I was on tech support with my phone company for over an hour. So I just barely got off that phone call, and I'm like, oh no, I missed most of the show.
Oh, so, it was so. You're gonna have to go back and listen to an archive because Sharonah and I covered so many cool things and talked about so many things. You got to listen to the part about my tarot tapping idea and all the wonderful advice that Sharonah threw in. It was amazing. We got to do this more often.
I was so mad I missed the show. I definitely will go back and listen to it because Sharonah, I mean, she's always full of great ideas, but lately it seems like she has kicked it up a notch. And
Sharonah?
Yeah.
You mean Sharonah? Okay.
And, you too, Dax, but, I mean, it's just, it's just such a chance to, learn something new every week. And even if it's not, earth-shaking, it's something that you can take in and let it grow and glow inside of you.
Yeah, you learn something. I learn something every show I listen to myself. And I'm glad we got you on here because I wanted to ask if you're going to do a crystal of the week for next week's show. I thought that'd be an awesome idea. Pick a crystal.
I am. And
oh, good. Let me know what that is, and I will promote that we're going to be talking about that.
Well, I have to ask Mary, the crystal maven, if she's done one on hematite yet. Because that's the one
I don't know if she has. She might have. I don't think so, though. But, yeah, ask Mary and let us know what you decide on. Maybe she has some ideas, and we'll do a crystal of the week, and all next week I'll get pictures of the crystal, or you can send pictures, and, we'll use that in our promotion on Facebook and Twitter and so forth and tell everybody, hey, we're going to be talking about this is going to be our crystal guest. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. So,
awesome.
there are honestly so many to choose from, but that, even though I haven't worked with my hematite lately, it's one that has been in the back of my mind over and over and over. And, I got to admit, most days my brain is like Swiss cheese, But for some reason, that hematite I haven't gone, no, wait, what did I pick to talk about? I always, it's always in the back of my mind. So
yeah,
I think it's something that I need to delve into and
you can
learn.
Think of it that way too. It's a good, by doing that, coming on the show and doing a crystal of the week, it actually gives you the opportunity to do just that, to do the research into it, to work with it during the week, and let us know on Friday what you discovered working with hematite, or if you pick a different crystal, hit up Mary on.
I think it needs to be hematite. I'm seriously.
Okay, we're going to do hematite.
I actually think I thought about it the last time I filled in for Dr. Rose, but then I picked something else. But then you and I got chatting.
I think we ran out of time. We were too busy chatting.
We didn't have a chance to get to
for like an hour and a half. Yeah. And by the way, that brings up that we're at the end of the show, and so what I wanted to ask you was, did you have something that you wanted Sharonah and I to pull cards on, or a card, or maybe you want us just to pull a card on how next week's show is going to go, or did you have anything in mind?
Well, next week's show is going to go great, so we don't need to pull a card on that. I will never say no to somebody pulling cards for me for let's look at finances.
Ooh, I'm going to let Sharonah go first. Sharonah, you got to get some more airtime in there anyway, right? No, but seriously.
I know Sharonah's been totally quiet.
I want to see what she's so quiet in the background. I want to see what she comes up with, though, for your finances. And I'll pull some cards in the background while you guys are chatting.
But I've got to tell you guys, lately, all of my cards have been a little bit dire. There have not been very many, sunshine and roses coming up. So when I say finances with a tentative tone in my voice, it's because of how the cards have been stacking up lately. And nothing has been terrible, you know what I mean? But it just hasn't been like you were about to be, gifted $4 bajillion because we think you're funny or anything like that.
Well, we were talking earlier, Charlotte, about if you get a card you don't like, okay, you can go through the deck and find one that you like better for that position. And then you'll just simply ask the universe and meditate, and you'll get an answer on how you can fix that situation. So I always tell people, the cards, we create our future, and you use the cards to just help you kind of focus on where you want to go. It's like a GPS system. So if the GPS system says, hey, you're going the wrong way, then you know that you're going the wrong way, and you can fix that, whatever's going on. But I did pull some cards for you, and it's interesting. It's most of the cards were pentacles, which are finances and resources. But I'm getting a message that, to let you know that you've invested wisely, and you just need to have a little bit of patience and trust that these things are going to grow. But I'm also getting the card, too, the Page of Pentacles. That whole thing we were talking about earlier. It's not just, worrying about bringing in the money. You have to understand what to do with it when it comes in. So one of the things that I have been recommending to a lot of people is, just go online and, look into how you can manage that money when it comes in. You're creating a reason for it to come in, but also what you're going to do with it, how you're going to invest it, how you're going to put it to good use. We're not taught that in school, and you can, these are things that you can learn. But you have, you have a lot of good investments that you can grow on. So now just kind of take it one step further. What are you going to do with that money when it comes in? How are you going to use it? So,
yeah.
I want to ask you, Sharonah, did you say it was the Page of Pentacles you got? Was one of them?
Yeah, you got it
That's
too?
That's what I got. Yes. And interestingly, I got the Page of Wands and the Pages, they're really studying their object, the coin or pentacle, and with the wands, his staff, And right in between them, are you ready? The World card.
Mm-hmm.
I got the World card, Charlotte. What this is telling me, and by the way, off to the left is the Eight of Wands. So, this could happen very quickly, okay? And Wands is talking about career. Pentacles is talking about, the financial aspect that Sharonah was mentioning. The World's really yours to have. How do you do that? Well, it's bookended by the Page of Wands and the Page of Pentacles or coin. And what that's telling me is that you've got to double down on the research, on the studies, going back over like you're in my course. Like you're in my course. Go back over my course. Go back over your crystal learnings and information. Start working with these things, with your oracle decks, your tarot decks, your crystals, like you're going to do with the hematite for the Friday show. You got to double down on doing the thing, walking the walk versus just thinking about it. Does that make any sense?
Yes, it does. It
and the
absolutely
hematite
does.
is about grounding. You got to ground.
Oh, wow.
You really have to ground yourself and, get practical. And I keep going back to the thing where, the page is looking at that pentacle. He's studying money. So I know that you have a business. Are you studying about how to do your taxes and the deductions and, how to really make the money work for you, use it as a tool. You don't want the money just to come in and then you spend it and it goes out. How can you invest it? How can you use this to create more money? And then it's so funny.
Yeah.
The next card that I got is the Seven of Pentacles, and that's where you are. You're looking at you've invested the time and the effort. How can you make this grow?
Mm-hmm.
And then I end up with the Nine of Pentacles, which is the lady in the garden where all your dreams are
woman,
fulfilled.
I call her.
Yeah, your hard work leads to success, but you have to ground yourself. You have to grab on to that hematite and get very practical, and combine the practicality with the intuition and the high priestess and rock and roll.
Yeah. I got Oh, Charlotte, I got one last thing I'm going to throw at you, and then we need to end the show because we're over right now, but not that doesn't always happen, but this particular show, actually, Sharonah and I were talking in the green room, I woke up with a sore throat, and we were going to hold it to a half hour. And it's not like from a sickness. It's because I did karaoke till 1 o'clock in the morning last night. Anyway, so I got the scratchy throat going on. We were singing 80s songs. Oh my God! I did Tiffany. I did Tiffany. Are you ready? Oh my God! So, oh my God! I did Chris Isaac and Elton John, and and I told Doug this morning. I said, you were supposed to tell me that I'm not supposed to do karaoke the night before I have a radio show. I'm not supposed to do it on Thursdays. Maybe Monday or Tuesday. Anyway, yeah. But we were going to have a short show, but boy, you get us hosts talking, and it just keeps going. But I have one last thing I want to throw at you, and that is, there's a lot of things going on with this card, but I got the Two of Cups. And what's going on with that is that I see some form of partnership, that you don't need to do this alone, your business. Yes, you want to end up as the Nine of Pentacles, the self-made woman, but nobody makes it, and it's funny because I did a Card of the Day article on the Tarot Guild website under articles a few days ago that hit on this, that even if you are an entrepreneur and you're the self-made woman, the Nine of Pentacles that Sharonah got, well, nobody makes it to growth and success in a vacuum. There's other people involved that help you along the way. I like to think that we're doing that, But the thing is that
absolutely.
I think there might be an actual partner, somebody you could partner up either in the crystal side of the business or the reading side or both, that you could do it together, and then that way it's not all on your shoulders. The other thing I'm getting from this is the winged lion head in the traditional Waite Smith version of the card above the two individuals in the Two of Cups, and he's got the caduceus under. I always think of healing when I see this, and I think if you open yourself up, remember it's also cups and emotions, and if you open yourself up to people that like, or I should say, feel the same way and are in the same emotional resonance as you, the same vibrational, emotional vibration. And I think it's not only about the money. It's like this is going to be a cathartic, like a healing thing for you as well.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm going to leave it there.
This is so interesting because seriously, the cards are, even though I said, they've been dire, they seriously have been telling a story week to week to week, and it just keeps building on itself. And to the point that I'm all goosebumps here. So it's like,
well, there you go.
It's like somebody's trying to give me a giant kick in the booty,
Yes, and this is the time. Remember the 2 pages. This is the time to double down on this because, we're relatively still in the beginning of the year. In fact, most people, they start their goals in January, but they really don't get them going, if they're ever going to get them going, till mid-February is when, mid to late February is when, if they're going to get it going, that's when they get it going. Or by mid-February, they've given up completely, So this is the time to double down and to find somebody that you can work with as well. But you also have to do your own thing because you want to be the Nine of Pentacles too.
Right.
It's more of a partnership where you're still your own individuals with your own individual businesses, but you can be helping each other. And, double down on the research and getting into the work and actually doing it, which you're going to be doing on Friday, too, on the radio show. So there you go.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
Yep.
Well, thanks for calling in. I look forward, Charlotte, to chatting with you on Friday. We're going to do a whole show of Charlotte and hematite.
Yeah. And a few card pulls and lots of, nonsensical chatter and,
Well,
and
enjoy the rest of your weekend. Sharonah and I are going to get out of here. Bye, sweetheart. We'll talk to you on Friday. And, God, great call to end the show on, Sharonah. And I think that's the most information. She's been calling in forever, and we've been pulling cards, on all the different shows. But I think that's the most information we ever gave her. The most succinct and dead-on readings, between the two of us. Yeah. Well, God, thanks so much for filling in for Dr. Rose. It was fantastic having Dr. Sharonah Rapseik on The Doctors Are In.
My pleasure.
We're going to
great
do it
hanging
again.
out on the air with you. Yep, we'll have to do it again.
Yep. And then you're going to be, wait, I got to bring up that psychictalk.net/upcoming for everybody listening out there that's new. I got to go on here and look. It's Friday, March 5th. Mark your calendars. Special guest, Sharonah Rapseik, past life regression on the Doctors Are In show with Dr. Rose Wilkerson, myself, and, of course, Dr. Sharonah Rapseik. And, of course, we'll be taking some calls as well, but once we get going, I think we're going to be talking quite a bit, especially anything hypnosis. But past life regression is so popular, and really want to chat about that with you.
I'm looking forward to it.
All righty. Well, goodbye, everybody. Thanks to all our listeners and callers. We don't have a show without you. And I'm going to say goodbye to everybody. And goodbye, Charlotte. Goodbye, Sharonah.
Bye-bye. Love you. Love all of you.
Love you. Have a great weekend.